Ladies and gentlemen, it is a privilege to address you today, not merely to fill the air with words, but to deliver something that has the power to reshape how you see yourself and the relationships you nurture. Every one of us has something precious within us: dreams, vulnerabilities, plans, and aspirations that defines the essence of who we are. Yet the question remains, do we protect these treasures, or do we give them away too freely, unaware of their value? Let me tell you something profound. The most valuable things in life are often unseen. Gold is buried deep in the earth. Pearls are hidden within the shells of oysters. And the treasures of your life are concealed in your spirit, your heart, and your mind. Just as nature guards its rarest assets, so must you. If you share what is sacred with the wrong people, you risk not only diminishing its value, but also jeopardizing your future. Let's talk about your dreams, for they are the seeds of your destiny. A dream is not just an idea, it's a glimpse of the future that only you have been allowed to see. Yet, when you share this vision with people who lack the capacity to understand it, you risk their criticism, doubt, or even jealousy. Joseph, a man of great vision, made the mistake of sharing his dreams with his brothers, and their response was not celebration, but betrayal. Why? Because your dreams are not always meant to be understood by others. Discernment is the key to protecting what has been entrusted to you. Discernment is the key to responding to the call of God based on your own intuition. Now consider your weaknesses. Every one of us has areas in our lives that we struggle with. These are the battles we fight in silence, the places where we feel vulnerable. But here's the truth. Not everyone is worthy of knowing your struggles. Vulnerability is not a weakness, but placing it in the hands of the wrong person can lead to devastating consequences. When you share your struggles without wisdom, you risk arming others with the very weapons that could be used against you. Instead, surround yourself with people of integrity, individuals who will lift you up and not tear you down. Then there is the issue of financial struggles. Money is more than currency. It's a reflection of how we manage resources. Many people make the mistake of sharing their financial burdens with those who are not equipped to help. When you expose your financial struggles recklessly, you open the door to pity or even manipulation. Seek wise counsel from those who can guide you towards solutions, not those who will simply commiserate or criticize. Protecting your financial privacy is as much about stewardship as it is about wisdom. Let's not forget the importance of keeping secrets. Your secrets are the treasures of your heart, the inner truths that shape your identity. Yet there is a danger in sharing these truths with people who have not earned your trust. Every vault has a lock, and every lock requires a key. Not everyone should have access to the most sacred parts of your life. Accountability is vital, but it must be with those who have proven themselves to be trustworthy. Guard your secrets as you would guard a priceless jewel. Finally, there are your plans. Too often, we feel compelled to announce our intentions before we have even laid the foundation. But plans, like seeds, need time to grow in silence before they are revealed. When you share your plans prematurely, you invite opinions and criticism that can derail your focus. It is not that people are inherently malicious, but not everyone is capable of seeing your vision the way you do. Protect your plans with preparation. Build quietly, and let the results speak for themselves. Your life is a reflection of what you protect. Everything you share, every word you speak, and every treasure you expose contributes to how others perceive your value. It is not about withholding or isolating yourself. It is about guarding what matters most. You cannot afford to be careless with the treasures of your heart, mind, and spirit. Remember, boundaries are not walls, they are gates, allowing access only to those who are deserving and capable of contributing positively to your journey. Your value is determined by what you protect, not what you give away. Every treasure has a vault, and your life should be no different. When we think about treasure, we imagine precious jewels, rare artifacts, and valuable heirlooms, items that are hidden away in secure places, far from the reach of those who do not recognize their worth. It is the vault that preserves their value, keeping them safe from harm, from loss, and from the hands of those who would misuse or exploit them. The same is true for the treasures of your life. Your heart, your mind, your aspirations, your wisdom, and your experiences are all treasures, but how often do we fail to treat them as such? Too many times we leave ourselves vulnerable, handing over our most valuable parts to the wrong people or exposing them in the wrong circumstances. Just like the most precious treasures of the world, the most sacred parts of your being should be protected, sealed, and only shared in ways that preserve their sanctity. A vault is not just a container, it is a place of careful, intentional protection. The vault of your life is your ability to discern when to speak, when to remain silent, and when to reveal what is hidden. Think about it. Even the greatest leaders, the most successful entrepreneurs, and the most influential thinkers have learned to keep some things close to their chest. They understand that not everything should be shared freely. Their wisdom lies in their ability to protect the integrity of their vision and their values. This vault of yours is not a place of isolation, but of strategic preservation. It's not about withdrawing from the world or becoming secretive for the sake of secrecy, but about understanding that some things must be protected in order to flourish. When you constantly expose the most valuable parts of yourself, your dreams, your plans, your vulnerabilities, you risk having them diminished, altered, or even stolen by those who do not respect their worth. When we think about a vault, we also recognize that it's not a one-size-fits-all. Not every person has access to the same vault. Some people are entrusted with keys because they have demonstrated loyalty, wisdom, and integrity over time. Others may only receive limited access because of their ability to appreciate and care for what you've entrusted to them. The key is not just in choosing who gets access, but in knowing which treasures belong in the vault at all. Your vision, your identity, and your deepest beliefs are too precious to be scattered carelessly. There is a sacredness to keeping certain things close to you until the right moment arrives for them to be shared. Like a precious gem that only reveals its brilliance in the right light, your treasures can only be fully appreciated when the time and the people are right. The vault is a place where your greatest treasures are kept safe, nurtured and preserved for their appointed time. You must never be afraid to protect your most valued parts. In fact, to do so is an act of stewardship, not selfishness, but wisdom. As you live your life, remember this: every treasure has a vault. Your dreams, your plans, your heart, your wisdom, these are your treasures, and your life should be no different. Guard them as you would any priceless possession, because they are indeed priceless. The vault is there not to lock you away from others, but to preserve and protect what makes you uniquely you, giving you the space and the strength to fulfill your purpose. So many Romans are very bad at this, and the strength to fulfill your purpose. What you share defines what people value about you. We live in a world that is constantly exchanging information, opinions, ideas, emotions, and beliefs. Every conversation, every interaction is an opportunity to give a piece of ourselves to others. Yet, the act of sharing is not neutral. It reveals the most intimate parts of us. And, whether we realize it or not, it shapes how others see us and what they value in us. Consider this. When you share something of yourself, whether it's a thought, a feeling, or an experience, you are also revealing what you deem worthy of sharing. People, in turn, assess that sharing and assign it a value. The things you expose about yourself will ultimately determine how others perceive your worth. If you only share your triumphs, for instance, people may come to see you as someone who is always in control or always successful, without understanding the struggles that shape those victories. If you share only your weaknesses or vulnerabilities, people might see you as someone who needs fixing or constant validation. But the key is this: what you share defines the lens through which others view you. This isn't just about what you choose to reveal, but how you reveal it. The manner in which you share something tells others whether you view it as something sacred or something trivial. If you throw your personal thoughts or your emotional burdens around carelessly, you risk devaluing their significance in the eyes of others. Yet, when you share with intention and discernment, when you choose the right moments and the right people to open up to, You communicate that what you are sharing is important. Think about how a priceless artifact is shared. Rare artifacts are often displayed under glass, in environments that ensure they are valued and protected. They are not thrown on display without thought, nor are they treated carelessly. The way you present your own treasures, your heart, your dreams, your experiences, reflects their true value. People will respect you based on how you respect yourself. The time you respect yourself. When you share wisely, you not only elevate the value of what you share, but also elevate the perception others have of you. There is a powerful truth in this. Sharing is not just about giving. It is about signaling to others what matters most to you. If you only share your success, people may value you for what you have accomplished, but fail to understand the heart behind your success. If you only share your pain, others might see you as someone who needs sympathy, but may miss your strength and resilience. All have the same need of solitude as you need to rest, reign, serenity, recharge. It is the combination of what you share, your challenges, your triumphs, your dreams, and your wisdom, that forms a holistic view of who you are. The way you share these pieces will influence how others value you. However, it's crucial to remember that sharing is a choice, and it is a deliberate act. Not everything in your life should be exposed to everyone. If you share without discernment, you risk losing the essence of your value. For example, sharing your goals and aspirations with those who do not support you can lead to discouragement or even sabotage. Footnote: sabotage is a phrase I implemented when it became clear to me that waiting for a proposal from a potential client was a waste of time. On the other hand, sharing your personal growth, your struggles, or your vulnerabilities with someone who values you can lead to understanding, support, and true connection. The key is in knowing whom to trust, when to share, and how to share with authenticity and wisdom. And he is also wary of the truth when I tell him the truth. Ultimately, what you share not only defines how others perceive you, but it also communicates what you believe about yourself. Do you see your dreams as sacred, your struggles as part of your growth, your wisdom as something to be cherished? If so, you will share these things in ways that invite respect and admiration. If you view them as trivial or disposable, others will too. In the end, remember this: what you share defines what people value about you. It's not just about how others see you, it's about how you see yourself. The treasures of your life are meant to be shared, but they should be shared with intention, wisdom, and discernment. Share only those things that elevate you and those around you. Guard your inner sanctuary, for not everyone deserves access. Inside each of us lies a sacred space, a sanctuary, where our most intimate thoughts, feelings, and desires are held. It's a place that holds the core of who we are, our values, our identity, and our most deeply held beliefs. This sanctuary is sacred not just because it is personal, but because it is vulnerable. It is where we find our truest selves, where our dreams take root and our emotions flourish. Yet, just as you would not allow a stranger into your home without cause, you must protect your inner sanctuary from those who are not worthy of its treasures. We live in a world that is filled with noise, distractions, and opinions that can easily influence how we see ourselves. The pressure to conform, to please others, and to expose every part of our lives is ever present. Yet, when we allow others too much access to the sanctuary of our hearts and minds, we risk letting in the wrong influences. Not everyone who comes into your life comes with pure intentions. Some will enter your sanctuary with the intent to harm, criticize, or manipulate. Others, though well-meaning, may simply lack the wisdom to understand the value of what you hold dear. That is why guarding your inner sanctuary is essential. It is not about building walls to isolate yourself from the world. It is about setting boundaries that protect your peace, your values, and your purpose. Just as a physical home has rooms that are private and rooms that are shared, so too does your inner world. There are parts of your life that are meant to be shared with those who have earned your trust. And then there are parts that are sacred, meant only for those who have proven themselves worthy of that access. That is your truth. This is not a call for secrecy, nor is it a demand for complete isolation. It's a call for discernment. The sanctuary of your heart and mind should not be treated like an open house where anyone can walk in and out as they please. The truth is that not everyone deserves to know your struggles, your hopes, or your dreams. Some people will misunderstand, others will misuse your vulnerability, and still others will simply not value the sanctity of what you hold within. When you allow anyone to enter without discretion, you expose yourself to unnecessary harm and allow your peace to be disturbed. Instead, you must invite only those who are capable of treating your sanctuary with reverence. These are the people who honor your boundaries, who respect your feelings, and who help protect the purity of your inner space. The wise know that access to the heart is not freely granted. It is earned over time. You cannot afford to give away pieces of yourself to those who will not treasure them. Nor can you afford to constantly seek validation from people who cannot understand or appreciate your worth. Guarding your inner sanctuary also means protecting your emotional and mental health. There are things that are meant to be shared only when the time is right, only when you have the support and wisdom to process them. There are moments when you need to retreat into your sanctuary, to reflect, heal, and recharge before sharing any part of your journey with others. Your inner space is where you gain clarity, where you connect with your deeper purpose, and where you find the strength to move forward. Allowing people who are not capable of honoring this process can disrupt your peace and cause unnecessary turmoil. Why? Remember, not everyone who enters your life is meant to stay. Some people come as lessons, others as support, but not all are meant to share in the most sacred parts of your being. By guarding your inner sanctuary, you protect the essence of who you are, ensuring that only those who truly understand and value your worth can gain access to your heart and your dreams. Disagreements. It is essential to cultivate the wisdom to know when to open the door and when to keep it closed. The sanctuary within you is a precious place, one that should be carefully preserved, nurtured, and shared only with those who deserve to witness its beauty. Guard it as you would any treasure, for it is the very core of your being. Never confuse transparency with vulnerability. They are not the same. In today's world, where authenticity is highly valued, there is a growing tendency to believe that being open and honest about everything is always the best approach. We hear phrases like, be transparent, or be vulnerable, as if they are interchangeable. But let me tell you, there is a profound difference between the two. Understanding this distinction can save you from unnecessary heartache and help you maintain your peace while navigating your personal and professional relationships. Transparency is the act of revealing the truth, but it does not require you to expose everything. It's about being clear, direct, and honest, but doing so with wisdom and discernment. Transparency allows others to see who you are, but it does not give them full access to the depths of your inner world. When you are transparent, you are making a conscious choice to share what is necessary, what is appropriate, and what is relevant to the situation at hand. You are providing clarity, but you are not giving away the whole of yourself. It is a controlled openness, one that reflects integrity without surrendering your deepest truths. Vulnerability, on the other hand, goes much deeper. Vulnerability is about exposing your heart, your fears, your insecurities, and your wounds. It's an invitation for others to see not just your strength, but also your weakness, your humanity. It is powerful, but it is also delicate and should be approached with care. Vulnerability, when shared with the wrong people or in the wrong circumstances, can lead to misunderstanding, exploitation, or emotional harm. It is a courageous act, but not every situation or person deserves access to it. The key distinction is this. Transparency allows you to be honest without losing control, while vulnerability invites others into your rawest spaces, giving them the power to either nurture or harm. While transparency can be shared freely, vulnerability should be carefully guarded, given only to those who have earned your trust and shown the capacity to handle it with respect. lend your respect. When you confuse transparency with vulnerability, you risk exposing parts of yourself that are not yet ready to be shared. It is easy to feel the pressure to be fully open, to show the world every aspect of your journey. But not everyone is prepared to hold your vulnerability with the care it requires. Just because someone demands transparency does not mean they deserve access to your vulnerability. Some will view it as a weakness, others as an opportunity to manipulate, and still others will simply not understand it. The more you confuse the two, the more you expose yourself to harm, as your most sensitive emotions and experiences are shared with those who may not value them as you do. To live wisely is to know the difference between being transparent and being vulnerable, and to use both in the right measure. Transparency can build trust, foster connection, and promote authenticity. But vulnerability, while it can create deeper bonds, must be shared judiciously. Vulnerability is reserved for the sacred spaces of relationship, where there is safety, empathy, and maturity. It is not for public consumption or casual conversations. It is for those who have proven their loyalty, understanding, and capacity to nurture your emotional well-being. Now, remember, your vulnerability is a gift. It is not something to be handed out carelessly to anyone who asks. It requires a safe environment and the right people to protect it. When you are vulnerable, you are showing others your true self, not your facade, not the mask you wear for the world, but the core of who you are. This is why it is sacred. It should be shared only with those who will honor and protect it. In conclusion, understand that while transparency is about clear communication and honesty, vulnerability is about exposing your heart. The former can be shared freely, but the latter must be guarded and given only to those who are worthy. When you respect the distinction between these two, you maintain your emotional health, build deeper, more meaningful connections, and preserve the sanctity of your inner self. Your life is like a garden. Not every seed deserves your soil. Think about your garden for a moment. The soil is rich and fertile, capable of nurturing growth, but it requires discernment. Not every seed that is planted will thrive. In fact, some seeds, when planted, can do more harm than good. Similarly, in life, not every person, idea, or influence deserves the space in your heart or mind. You must be intentional about what you allow to take root in your life. For what you cultivate will eventually define your growth, your destiny, and your purpose. In a garden, the soil represents the environment you create, the energy you invest, and the mindset you adopt. If you allow every seed to take root, whether it's a negative thought, a toxic relationship, or an unproductive habit, you risk depleting the richness of your soil. The wrong seeds can crowd out the good ones, stifle the growth of your dreams, and diminish the health of your life. It's not enough to simply plant. You must carefully choose what you plant, nurture it, and ensure it has the right conditions to flourish. In your life, there are people, ideas, and energies that you encounter every day. Some will inspire you, challenge you, and encourage your growth. These are the seeds you want to plant in the fertile soil of your life. They are positive influences, mentors, friends, and opportunities that will nourish your spirit and help you move toward your purpose. However, there are also seeds that can harm your garden. These may come in the form of toxic relationships, negative thinking, or doubts about your own abilities. If you allow these seeds to take root, they will grow into weeds that choke the life out of your dreams, your confidence, and your peace of mind. Imagine that every thought, every conversation, and every influence is a seed being planted in the soil of your heart. The question is, what kind of garden are you cultivating? Are you letting self-doubt and negativity take root, or are you nurturing hope, faith, and growth? Just as a gardener must pull out weeds to make room for healthy plants, you must be vigilant about removing the harmful influences in your life. This requires discernment and wisdom, for not every person or idea that crosses your path is worthy of your attention, your time, or your emotional energy. The truth is that your time and energy are precious. You are like a garden with limited space, and not every seed deserves to be planted in the rich soil of your life. You must be selective about who you allow to influence you, what thoughts you choose to entertain, and which relationships you invest in. The people who feed your dreams and uplift your spirit deserve the most fertile soil you can offer. Those who bring negativity, jealousy, and criticism into your life should not be given room to grow. The same applies to the thoughts and beliefs you hold about yourself. If you entertain thoughts that tell you that you are unworthy, incapable, or inferior, you are planting seeds of limitation in your own heart. These seeds will grow into barriers to your success and fulfillment. Yes, unbarriers. Barriers of obscurity, unmandate of darkness. Unbarriers of despair, unmandate of life. Just as a garden requires time, care, and attention to flourish, so does your life. Nurture the positive seeds. Pull out the weeds and make sure you are planting only those things that will help you grow into the person you are meant to be. This is not just about avoiding negativity. It's about actively choosing to create an environment where your dreams can take root and thrive. Every choice you make, every relationship you enter into, and every thought you entertain is a seed that will shape the garden of your life. In the name of Jesus, this blessing applies to you. In the end, remember this: your life is like a garden, and it is up to you to decide what you allow to grow within it. Guard your soil carefully, for what you plant will ultimately determine what you harvest. Make room for the seeds of growth, and ensure that anything that threatens to stifle your potential is removed. A garden nurtured with wisdom, love, and care will always produce a harvest of abundance. In conclusion, understand this profound truth. Your life is not a random sequence of events, but a sacred journey, a precious and purposeful existence. Just as a skilled gardener carefully cultivates their garden, you must nurture the soil of your heart, mind, and spirit with intention and wisdom. What you protect, what you share, and what you allow to grow within you will determine the harvest of your life. Your value is not found in what you give away, but in what you guard and treasure. Be discerning in what you allow into your sanctuary, for not everyone deserves access to the deepest parts of who you are. Know the difference between transparency and vulnerability, and understand that some treasures are meant to be shared only with those who will honor and cherish them. Your life, like a garden, has limited space, and not every seed deserves your soil. You are a masterpiece in progress, and the seeds you plant today will define your tomorrow. It is not enough to live by default. Be deliberate in the relationships you form, the ideas you entertain, and the dreams you nurture. For in the end, the quality of your life will reflect the seeds you have chosen to cultivate. So I urge you, protect your treasures, guard your sanctuary, and be intentional in what you allow to take root within you. Your destiny is too valuable, your purpose too significant, to be shaped by anything less than what truly aligns with the greatness within you. Never forget, your value is determined by what you protect, not what you give away.